Yo, I feel like I blinked and Gypsy Rose has completely done a 180, 360, you name it, transformation. And we're going to talk about all the stuff that she's done in today's video. Hello, Sofa Squad, and welcome back to the sofa. Sofa's there. Roscoe's there. I'm right here. My name's Paul, and welcome to the channel if you are new here. Now, today, what we're going to be doing is talking about Gypsy Rose again. I did not think we were going to talk about it again, but literally, the other video that I did, if you've been following the channel, basically before I could even get it out, it was like, oh, bam, she's with the other guy now. Bam, they're getting tattoos. Bam, now she's getting nose jobs. I was like talking to so many of y'all, so I was like, I'm going to make a video just to go back over this stuff, because I'm just sitting here kind of like my mouth on the ground like, whoa, okay? So specifically what we're going to do in this video is talk about just a few things. We're also going to review an article at the end of the things that she's done that Ryan did, the guy she just left, her husband, where he talks to Daily Mail exclusively about his thoughts and whatnot. So we'll do that last. Before that, we'll talk about the tattoo, the new man, the new nose. So let's get into it. Now remember, if you want to follow Roscoe and I outside of the old tubes, well, we're on the Instagram, like it says on the screen right there. Go on, click it. Good Lord Almighty, I won't want to ask twice. Now let's go ahead and start off with the matching tattoos. Let's do that one first. I'm going to actually hold Roscoe to review this. He's decided it was time to do a deep cleaning back there. I did not want to subject y'all to watching that while we go over this. So we are going to hold the little man. So let's go put this on the screen now. You'll see up here. Now this is from TMZ. They've been on it with this, but aren't they always? And it says Gypsy Rose Blanchard gets matching tats with ex-fiance Ken back in the mix post Ryan. Now, we're going to talk about the whole situation with Ken and my thoughts on it and as we go. But first, let's just look at this picture. So you see on the screen here, there's Gypsy with her blonde hair. Now, remember that because we're going to come back to it. There he is getting a tattoo. Now, she'll be getting one too. And it says at the top of the picture here, eyewitnesses tell TMZ Gypsy and the guy she previously was engaged to while in prison, a man named Ken Urker, linked up this week, hit Sailor's Bob's tattoo shop in Cutoff, Louisiana Monday, not far from where Gypsy's dad resides. Now let's move over here and look at the actual tattoos. They appear to be, I believe they're huskies, matching huskies. Also look at their bracelets in this. So very matchy, very, you know, all of that, okay? Now, one thing I want you to keep in mind is this, and we'll talk about it a little bit more towards the end of the video when I believe Ryan talks about him. So Ken came in the picture in the mix, like I think after the Hulu documentary came out. And this is why she was still incarcerated. It fills it out, whatever. Now in, you know, a lot of these interviews and whatnot that she's done since post-release, she made a couple of comments like, oh no, you know, it ended because, you know, I was never going to be like the blonde, whatever that he wanted, talking about Ken. Interesting that she's dyed her hair blonde. So now also if you refer back to some of the documentaries, some of the interviews she did before getting out and then, you know, post-release or whatever, there was some scenes in there where Ryan, the current husband, but now not current, I guess, basically caught her in this whole situation where she was like, I've been talking to my ex, you know, but it's done with, I'm not with him, but it was like the drama of the episode, okay? And so it was a thing, they move past it, they get married, she gets out. Well, lo and behold, she's with that same dude. Now, we'll get more into that when we talk about what Ryan says at the end, because I'm like, well, I mean, yeah, of course, right? And I'm not trying to say like, yeah, of course she was going to do that like in a deceitful way of her, but just the general aspect of she was in prison before that prison with her mother. Now, she's probably feeling a little bit frisky, right? Wanted to try different things and people and all the stuff and the things. And I think that goes to show too, like now she seems to be on this trajectory of changing her look. You know, I think it's interesting that she's gone from Ryan to this dude, immediately matching tattoos, this, that, and the other, hair is blonde, this, that. It's almost like, how long has this been going on? Or is it really just this fresh? Because I feel like they've been going out. Like, why would you make these decisions? But again, she didn't have a normal upbringing. So this might be how she copes with all of the stressors that are going on. Remember, she's canceled her social media. She's kind of going incognito as best as you can, right? So this just seems like almost like another cry for help in a way, but also her having fun. I think with Ryan, you know, if you look at the two of them, you know, here's Ryan, who per him, he met her on a dare, you know, when the Tiger King stuff was going on. So here's this Ken dude, seems a little bit more her vibe. Again, I get it. And the other thing, too, that I guess I question with this is, almost like with any of these people, like, do y'all watch Love After Lockup? Like that show, that TV show? Like, this is par for the course, right? Inmates get with somebody on the outside. They're their link. They're in a very isolated, bizarre situation, so they get very close to them. Then they get out and they have options, right? And they choose other ones. So that being said, let's segue into the other transformation, which is the nose job. Now you'll see on the screen here, again, TMZ, good Lord. Okay, so it says Gypsy Rose Blanchard, new nose, new me. First photo post plastic surgery. And then we'll move on over here. And it says sources with direct knowledge tell TMZ that Blanchard underwent a combo of rhinoplasty and septoplasty performed by Dr. Jeffrey Joseph, a respected surgeon in Louisiana. She was super stoked to see how she looks after she's totally healed up. Now moving past that, it says she paid about $5,000 for the procedure, and she doesn't have any plans to go through any other cosmetic surgery at this time. And then it says people broke the story. Gypsy says she's going through a personal transformation, and part of that metamorphosis is physical, while adding fans can see her medical journey on Gypsy Rose Life After Lockup this summer. Okay, so just pause right there. So again, this whole thing of fixing the nose, dyeing the hair, getting the new man. I mean, it's like girls filling her Wheaties, right? Now, here's the other thing too. I'm sure she has body dysmorphia of some sort. Look at the things she went through surgically with her mother, right? There's probably also things wrong with her that were done to her, not by choice when she was growing up, that she might try and fix. Because when they're like, oh, she doesn't have any other plans for that. But it could be just as simple as she wants to change her nose, right? I mean, who knows? Get it? Who knows? But I didn't mean to do that, I swear. The thing that fascinates me, too, is that she's going through an elective surgery. It's almost like, God, you think she'd be over it, right? Now, also, you already know on this TV show they're talking about, the Love After Lockup that's going to come out this summer, you already know they're going to ham this up for drama's sakes, being like, how are you going back under the knife? I know that you went through all this as a kid. I can see the storyline, right? And they might have been like, look, we'll pay for you to get a nose job. Okay, sure. I would have too, right? So, there's that. Now, let's take a look at said nose. So here she is. Now, it does look like she's got a filter on over the pit something, but, she's looking good here. Eating her little snack there. Again, TMZ photo here. So, yeah, she looks better here than the photos we see of her as a little kid with the crazy stuff her mother was doing, all right? I'm very curious to see how she turns out, how it looks. Now, let's move on to that article from Daily Mail where they spoke with Ryan, her estranged husband at this point. Let's go over that. So on the screen here, you will see this is an article by Laura Collins, chief investigative reporter in Lake Charles, Louisiana. This was published April 5th, 2024. Again, this is Daily Mail. It says exclusive Gypsy Rose Blanchard's estranged husband, Ryan Anderson, reveals he was blindsided by their split, had no clue she still had strong feelings for her ex-boyfriend. Now, just pause right there. So again, we already saw on the TV show, the documentary or whatever that she already did, this was a thing, right? This was already a thing over before they got married, of her getting in contact with her ex, and not the dude who did the deed with her mom, but this dude. So for him to say blindsided, okay, that's a stretch. However, I'm sure what was going on, and I say I'm sure, I don't mean that in that way. Probably what was going on and him saying blindsided is that they were married. They were a couple, right? So maybe they had still been in contact. Clearly this dude was coming around, and poking his nose around and whatnot, and she took the bait, and I don't mean to call it bait, but you know what I'm saying. So I just find it weird that Ryan's like, I'm completely blindsided. Of course, I don't want to sit here and think, oh, she just finessed you, dude. But it has that vibes to it. Now, when they split up, her and Ken originally when she was in prison, then she moved on to Ryan very quickly. So it was almost like this she can't be alone type situation, but also needed that maybe support on the outside, and Ryan was able to provide that. But once she got out and had options, So let's look at the next thing on the screen. It says, he said, I'm not doing well with it. For me, it just came out of the blue. I had no idea she had such strong feelings for him. Now, we're going to review a couple of pictures here. It says, seen in these exclusive pictures, Ryan is clutching Pixie. You'll see it on the screen here. This is their dog. So this was Gypsy and his dog. Now, in an interview I saw somewhere, it's like in a TikTok or something, she was talking and she said, about the dog. She's like, I left the dog with him. She took to him anyways. Here's the thing. My thing with the dog, I feel so bad. I'm like, you left the dog too? Bro, let's go.
See, that's really scary, Dad. I don't like that.
I don't either. I I don't either. But here you see him holding the dog, just so sad and rejected, right? It's awful. So let's continue on with the article here. Now it says, that he says that he is for sure keeping the dog. And it says barely 4 months ago, he posted about his perfect life on Instagram when he introduced Pixie to followers in a picture and said, "My favorite 2 girls. My family is adorable. I'm so lucky." Now let's go into this next thing here. The continuing of the article on the screen, it says, but it wasn't also, happily ever after. And then it starts talking about on Thursday, these pictures emerged of Blanchard hand in hand with Urker. And again, it goes into their history where he first started writing her in 2018 after that HBO doc, Mommy Dearest. It says they broke up not long before she started her prison romance with Anderson in 2020. Now, this next thing I'm going to read to you, and then we're going to look at the pictures, is so absolutely real. Okay, it says, apparently without a care in the world, a beaming Blanchard and Urker were seen visiting a Dollar General store in South Louisiana and casually smoking a cigarette together. Okay, pause for 1 second. Okay, here's the thing. Let's put the pictures up on the screen before we continue on of them at the Dollar General. Against reference. And she's just smiling, cigarette, doesn't care, got her tattoos, all that. Here's the thing, y'all. Okay, if this was me, right, and like this whole thing came out, it was like, oh, Paul, Paul got out of prison. He dumped his man and got this new man he's been talking to, what's the tea? They're being spotted, people would be like, well, where were they spotted at? Was it going to that fancy steakhouse? Was it coming out of Saks Fifth Avenue? No. You're going to see me outside the damn Dollar General. Marlboro Red in one hand, Honey Bun in the other, okay? I mean, with this part here, I was like, this is just, this, I absolutely love this, right? There ain't nothing fancy. This is just 2 real people going through their damn day, talking about you can't trust nothing in this world no more because ain't nothing in that store $1. Can I get an amen? Now, let's keep going. Now, it continues towards the bottom of the same screen that we were on. It says, for Anderson, it was a cruel and confusing display of their closeness. He told Daily Mail, I haven't spoken to her, so I just don't know what's going on. I'm at a loss. I'm not really doing well at all. I don't blame him. I mean, imagine this. Put everything aside. You're going through this bizarre breakup publicly. You're seeing your girl out getting tattoos with this dude, and you're like, what? You're not even talking to me? I mean, that part's pretty crappy. You left the dog behind, you did this, like your new nose, new me, new tattoos. I mean, come on. Now, the next thing here that we're going to put up is, it's just more of this article. The first part is just saying, she moved back into her father and stepmother's home in Cut Off, Louisiana, about 3 hours away. Urker flew into Texas to be by her side, while Blanchard has insisted that there is no intimacy. I mean, again, cannot roll my eyes hard enough, please. You got matching tattoos, matching bracelet, new hair, new nose. Girl, come on. Holding hand, girl. It says, there's no intimacy between the pair. He's being a supportive friend. Anderson is clear that the relationship is to blame for the end of his marriage. And this is the sad part because this is all happening publicly. I mean, granted, he knew what he signed up for. I mean, again, he saw, and I'm talking about Anderson now, he saw Gypsy on this doc, and per him, it was like, well, you talked to, his friend was going to talk to somebody in Tiger King, and he was going to talk to Gypsy. So, I mean, this is where this began, right? So, anyways, let's keep going. It says, neither Blanchard's father, Rod, nor his stepmother, Christy, were in favor of her marrying Anderson. For his part, Rod said he gave the marriage a 50-50 odds at best. The relationship began during COVID-19 pandemic in 2020, when the Netflix hit show Tiger King was garnering huge public attention. My God, remember that? And it does say in here the whole thing about, one of his co-workers wanted to write Tiger King, and quoting Anderson, told him, if you write to him, I'll write to Gypsy Rose. Her family, it says, did voice concerns over the relationship starting a little more than a dare. One family member says, he really did love her though, and felt bad, like he's a good guy. So that being said, let's just kind of go back over it real quick. Again, I look at it like she started off in the prison with her mother, then prison, then gets out, is inundated immediately with this level of infamy, right? And I mean, just insane infamy. Millions of followers on stuff. People treating her like she's a regular influencer without this consideration of like the reason why she's infamous, right? It was very weird. She deletes her stuff. Clearly, in my opinion, and I don't know, I'm not her, I'm not there, she's had to have been talking to this dude behind the scenes, and he's probably been edging his way in. You could see in some of the interviews with Ryan and Gypsy where things seemed a little bit stressed. I can only imagine the stress that this would put on any relationship when you get out of prison, number one, but number two, you have this level of scrutiny on you, and especially when the public tide started to kind of change about Gypsy, and they weren't happy hearing her talk about, you know, certain things in interviews, not taking accountability, this type of stuff, which led to the, you know, the getting rid of social media, making a few statements. And now it just seems like she's just letting her hair down. And it almost seems like you would have to hit this stage, new man or not, of I'm gonna have to learn to just go about my day and do my thing. And the press is gonna say what the press is gonna say. Comment section is gonna say what the comment section is gonna say. Remember, she's still on probation, right? She can still get in trouble. So I mean, this is a, you know, should be a concern for her. Again, the past stuff about her saying, you know, never gonna be that blonde, and then doing all this type of stuff, she might be chasing an image, chasing something that she's always wanted. I would only think you would have certain issues surrounding love and intimacy and the search and desire for that if you had lived through a situation like what she did, right? I mean, I can't imagine how that would skew your viewpoint on, you know, people who love you when your mother did these things to her. So anyways, and I feel sorry for the little doggy. But again, if he attached himself to Ryan, it sounds like he's better off with Ryan, right? It just seems like I don't know, like the icing on the cake or whatever. Like, damn, she got rid of the dog too? You know what I'm saying? Like, she was done, is the vibe I got. Like, she was just over it. So again, I would be curious, and again, it's none of my business, but I'm just being nosy. How was she planning this with this dude? Was this another pre-plotted thing? Maybe this is just how she moves. She gets another man to come in and work with her to get her out of the situation she's in, and that's just what she does, is what she knows. Who knows? But let me know down in the comment section what you think. Mr. Roscoe does say thank you for watching. He's going to go finish his bath now that we're going to turn the camera off. And he does ask that you drop some sofas down in the comment section so we'll have a place to sit when we meander our way down there and talk about this case and others. And until we do, we'll see y'all soon. I just wanted to say thank you again for watching the whole video, and also thank you for being part of the Sofa Squad. Special thanks to all the Patreon members, channel members from both of my channels, everybody who likes, shares, subscribes, comments in the comment sections. It helps the channel out so much. Now, don't forget, I do have that other channel, the podcast channel. That's where we go live, we hang out, we talk. We have kind of sort of a schedule, but just be sure and check it out. I'll put it up here on the screen. Also, if you're looking for merch, be sure to check out my Teespring store. I'll put that up here. And then, like I said in the beginning of the video, if you want to follow me and Roscoe on the Instagram, go on, check it out. It's right here on the screen again. But once again, thank you very much. I really appreciate you being part of the Sofa Squad, and I'll see you in the next video.